John, when you go into these exhibition games Friday and then Monday with Moorhead, do you go into it this early thinking, I'll split the minutes evenly just to see how everybody performs on that big stage, or have some players already earned 30, 35?
Well, when you're down to 8 scholarship players, you probably say, we're going to play everybody. The one thing that's come out of this for me personally that's been great with all the injuries, and Brad's on the court 24/7. He's scrimmaging every scrimmage, he's on the court, and he's getting better. Now, is he like the guys I saw last night in Charlotte? See Malik Monk, Jamal, Michael, Trey? No, no, but he personally is becoming his best version. And as a father, that's ecstatic. I'm ecstatic about that. But we got 8 guys that we're playing. 7 of those may play a little bit more, maybe not. Probably 6 will play a little bit more than the other 2. But we're just a ways away from being a good basketball team. We're learning, and they're not fighting me. They just don't know. It's here's I want to know from you in here that like me. So that's a few of you. If you've watched me coach, this year I have got to be doubly hard in practice. Like even tougher, not mean and nasty cuss, but I just raised the bar, and the expectation I have of what they're able to do. And if they don't do it, they run. We're conditioning like crazy right now. Like, it's nuts. But when we get in these games, I'm gonna have to back up a little bit, because this is not the swaggy, we got this group. They're still trying to figure out who they are, which means I've got to back up and accept some of the stuff I see, which normally I don't accept. Now, the question is, can I do that? Nod your heads if you think I can do that.
No.
Somebody scream no from over there. That's what I have to do. In other words, other groups I was tough on, and in games when there was slippage, I didn't let that slippage keep going. No, it's not acceptable. You're at Kentucky. I don't care how old you are. We're not doing it. And then I got louder if I had to, and then I did what I think right now this group where we are is go hard in practice, hold them accountable, and then accept where they are in the games right now. This is where we are. This is what we are. We like a press, we need to press some, but we haven't had time. One of the players said, Coach, you stop us so much in practice. I said, I cannot let you play in a way that you're not going to be able to play. I stop it. No. Instead of letting them go for 5 minutes and say, okay, here are the 7 things I saw. You can't do that with 18 and 19-year-old kids. That is unacceptable. You're not playing that way. I will sub you the minute you do that. So don't do it. All right, keep going. Now, the problem with that is it's hard to get them in that playing running shape, which is maybe why some of those guys cramped up at the scrimmage. But that's cured because now we're conditioning at a high level like I've conditioned no other team I've coached here. And then trying to get them to play through every possession and not stop, and then point it out on the tape and be very direct. And I tell them, every player I have says, we love that Coach keeps it real. Unless I keep it real with them specifically, then they're not so happy. So it's where we are in the process. Playing Preston's team and what he's been able to do, and he's going through the same thing, his kids are going to be excited, and young kids a lot of times don't know that they're not supposed to. And they go out and do stuff they're not supposed to do because they don't have any idea that they're not. That's the greatest thing about coaching young guys. They don't understand, and sometimes you can convince them of things that they didn't know. You can't do this as freshmen, like win a national title. You know, to accept where a team is, it's one of the things that I've never done. That is not acceptable. I've done things since I've been here that I've never done in my career to adjust to that team I've coached. So people may watch and say, he's not even coaching this year. What is this guy? He's like on vacation. It may be what these kids need. The other side of doing that is they must communicate to each other now. Don't look over at me. I'm not running this. The thing that happens, and Preston with his team will know this, someone says, who will lead your team? Early on, it's him. But eventually, it's got to be them. I may be forcing that along quicker than it needs to be because right now, if you ask me who's leading, we just got a bunch of guys that are leading each other. There's no one guy that's standing out and leading. They're all learning. It's hard. It's kind of like if you're not great right now and you're trying to tell me something, stop. Don't worry about you. And that's where it is when you're this young. I just think that's the way this team now. I may look at it and say that ain't working. And maybe 4 minutes into the first game we play, and they may need me to be more aggressive. Sometimes me being aggressive takes it off everything, and they can worry about me versus the anxiety of the game, or worrying about an opponent, or whether we're going to lose or not. Don't worry about that. Worry about me. I'm on you right now to play the way you're supposed to play. That works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't.